I'm sure that I have many fine qualities, but being organised isn't amongst them. Some people, like my dear friend Matt Wisniewski, are very organised. They look at a year's release schedule and map out the direction they want their channel to take. Had I been more organised, I would have got to today's film months ago. So there's this guy called Neil Gaiman. He's seen some small recognition as a writer over the years. In fact, you may have seen some of the adaptations of his IPs. Many, myself included, consider his magnum opus to be a long-running comic series called The Sandman. In terms of adaptation, every attempt to bring it to the screen has ended in vapour. It's one of those works, one so expansive and intricate and challenging and astonishing that many consider it unadaptable. However, numerous creators have released their own tributes to it over the years. One of the most recent, and to be fair best, actually came from August of 2017. Bernard Pooch's Black Sand. I guess I should say something to the uninitiated about Sandman before we proceed. And what I will say is, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why haven't you read this already? Okay, I guess you deserve more of a bone than that. My painfully inadequate breakdown of Sandman's premise is that the universe itself hinges on the existence of a family of powerful beings called the Endless, who each represent a fundamental principle of everything. The lead character and fulcrum of the series is the third eldest of the Endless, Dream. This metaphysical idea of universal concepts being personified is crucial to Sandman. It's not simply that Dream is the creator and lord of dreams, he is dreams. This fact justifies his interactions with gods, demons, aliens, cats, superheroes, cardboard boxes, and of course, the lives of ordinary people. Everybody dreams, except for Richie here, who has had to turn to drugs to gain some release from his waking life. In this story, he comes into possession of a pouch of black sand, which fans of the comics will recognise as one of Dream's three tools of power. This sand offers Richie a taste of a universal experience which the rest of us take for granted, but which he has been painfully denied. Black Sand takes its cues from Sandman Volume 2, Number 3, Dream a Little Dream of Me. In that story, the iconic John Constantine aids Dream in recovering his lost pouch. However, Black Sand takes the theme and tone and plot points of this story and weaves them into one which stands tall as a work in its own right. Black Sand is fan-funded and produced by true devotees of Gaiman's masterpiece. But one thing I really appreciate about Black Sand is how economical it is with aspects of the Sandman mythology. It would have been so easy to flood this thing with Easter eggs and unnecessary cameos from its enormous cast, but Pusha was conscious of how best to serve a cohesive story set within the universe itself. Dream only makes a mark at the climax, and the other most recognisable member of the Endless, Dream's older sister Death, crosses in and out. Now, obviously prior knowledge of the series helps you appreciate Black Sand, but none of the film's magic would be lost if you'd never even seen a single panel of the comic. And one of Sandman's triumphs was always its roster of vivid characters who stick with you, regardless of how big or small a part they play compared to the Endless. And Pusha's original characters are very much in this tradition. The wonderfully named Sid Phoenix offers a Richie who is believable and sympathetic, despite the fact that he's just pretty pathetic. And despite his fleeting appearance, Matthew Forcher's Marco is charismatic and engaging, and expresses a genuine sense of concern for his broken down friend. Black Sand offered me a really unique experience in that it made me make not one but two double takes. I was really surprised to see DJ, music producer and willing nude Samantha Bentley in the mix, and she gives an utterly chilling performance as a literally decomposing sand addict called Sally. And then we get to Michelle Ryan, the former EastEnder and actress who deserves a better career than she has, who here takes on the role of Death. And let's be clear about this, screwing up Dream's older sister is a cardinal sin. Gaiman's Grim Reaper is almost universally beloved. She's a pop culture icon, and any failure to honour her will put a bullet in your project. Ryan's interpretation of death defied my expectations in surprisingly subtle ways. This will make me sound twatty, or at least twattier, but I kind of think of her as a more millennial death. She brings this curious, alluring wink-nod edge to the role, which I feel shouldn't work, but somehow does. And then we get to Dream. Actor Joel Fillimore is every bit as aloof, formal, imposing, yet wondrous as he needs to be. And as a director, Pusher made the very wise decision to obscure him shot by shot. In his final conversation with Richie, he's indistinct like a barely remembered dream. He's out of focus, at a distance, his head is out of frame, we're close up on his dark eyes. These very deliberate framing choices really help with both his characterisation and the tone of this crucial scene. Overall, the atmosphere of Black Sand is so uncanny, and it flows effortlessly through the film's mundane and more extravagant settings. This is an anxious world of the wasted and lost, but also one which crackles with endless possibilities and magic. I went all in on the gush for Black Sand after I'd seen it, but I have to say that my love and enthusiasm for this project is entirely genuine. I often feel that short films are perhaps underestimated as an art form. Most people consider them calling cards or training wheels filmmakers use before moving on to the real business of features. So it's wonderful when an experienced filmmaker goes all in on a short as a labour of love, which Black Sand most definitely is, and it's also a film you need to make time for.